Yo gamers, Nature here. Today we're going to cover some tips, tricks, strategy, pets, and builds for hunters in Wsg Gulch for WoW Season of Discovery. As always, make sure you give a like and subscribe, it really helps. Fair warning, Wsg Gulch has more micro tips and tricks than any other battleground. You could literally do a 10-hour video just on flag carrier jumps alone. I'm not exaggerating. So we're going to focus on the most effective tips and tricks to increase your win rate. As a hunter, we want to make sure we get all the way up to Exalted. Now is the best time to do that since there's no other big rep grinds. If we wait till later phases, you'll want other reps making it harder to get. We currently get the Ashen Veil mount, trinket, ring, neck, amongst other rep rewards in the new level 25 stat weighted bow and dagger. In later phases, we get an epic pair of bracers and one of the best legs in the entire game at 60. This is all assuming they don't add more and better rep items for WSG. As of right now, we still get a lot of rep with Wsg Gulch with the Ashen Veil event. You get 400 rep per mini boss that you're part of killing, plus rep for winning and being in the zone, plus extra rep for weekly drums turn-in. Now currently, the only rep you get past Revered would be for the weekly drums turn-in. Let's cover gear. For head slot, we'll want Twilight Slayer's cowl for the big stam, agi, and set bonuses. On neck, we'll pick up Scout's Medallion for Horde or Sentinel's Medallion for Alliance. You get this by obtaining Honored Reputation with Wsg Gulch. Shoulders, we will get Sentinel's Pauldrons for the huge agi and stam combination. In the back slot, Cape of the Brotherhood obtained from killing Van Cleef and Deadmines is best in slot for PvP. For chest, Twilight Slayer's Tunic will be our best in slot. As a quick side note, Clamweave Tunic has the most stam, and even though it's cloth, it has more armor than our other options. This is not a bad pickup if it's on Rot and you don't have Twilight Tunic yet. For bracers, we'll pick up Mad Wolf Bracers. It's a BOE, so you can buy it on the auction house or farm it off the Nightbane Vile Fangs in southeast section of Duskwood. It has a 2% drop rate. Gloves, we will get Void Touch leather gloves, of course, our only epic armor piece at this tier and best in slot for both PvE and PvP. In the belt slot, Deviate Scale Belt, which is made by leatherworkers and purchasable on the auction house, or Court of Aquinas, both are great for Alliance. On Horde, we'll pick up Defkin Leather Belt. This is obtained first by grabbing the quest from Splinter Tree Post to kill befouled water elementals. While down in that area, there's a named NPC called Tidris. You'll kill Tidris, and then they drop a water globe that will turn in for the belt. For legs, if we're super lucky, or if we have the means, we can get Troll's Bane leggings. It's a BOE. It can be purchased on the auction house. However, for most players, we're going to want to pick up Leggings of the Fang. This is great for PvP. You can get this in Wailing Caverns by killing Lord Cabron. You could also solo this. The best spec to do that is a Beast Mastery spec and build. For boots, we'll grab Twilight Slayer's foot pads. In the ring slot, you can pick up Band of the Iron Fist by completing Allegiance to the Old Gods in BFD and snagging Ring of Precision in BFD. That is a BOE drop, so you could also purchase it on the auction house. A couple other great options are Protector's Band for Alliance or Legionnaire's Band for Horde. This is from gaining Honored Reputation with Wsg Gulch. For Alliance, we also have Seal of Ren by completing an audience with the King Quest in Stormwind. This is a great pickup because of all the pure stats. On Trinket, we'll want Avenger's Void Pearl from killing Akume in BFD. In the second slot, we'll either use Minor Recombobulator for the Engineers. That provides a minor heal and mana consume, while also being able to dispel Polymorph. If we're not Engineer, we can grab Rune of Duty from attaining Friendly with Wsg Gulch. For our weapons, we'll want Ashari Arbalist. This is the best for sure, and we'll want to grab it when available. On our melee slot, we'll want to pick up a two-hander. Doesn't matter how good of a player you are, people will enter your dead zone, and you'll want a heavy hitter to punish them. We have Guardian's Trident. This is my favorite for high stam and agi combo. Or we could pick up Deadly Strike of the Hydra. This is going to be a hard to grab item from melee, but Fight Club currently discovered, as of this second, one-handers are still BiS for warriors, so it might be a little bit easier to grab. Deadly Strike of the Hydra hits like a truck, and the proc can reduce armor. This could be useful against enemy flag carriers or someone jumping into your dead zone. Lastly, we have Fathom Blade. This also looks great, but I haven't tested the proc yet. I've been told it's just an AoE damage and does not do any type of knockback or slow. This would reduce the value, but it's still a great pickup as well. 1% hit is equal to about 8 agility. However, out of the 3, my favorite is still Guardian's Trident because your pet scales off the range attack power and it still has 10 stamina to boot for PvP. Now that our gear is set up, let's look at our talents and spec. When it comes to your spec, you truly can't go wrong here. I don't think there's a best way. It's more of a preferred way depending on what you're doing, your playstyle, and your gear. With that being said, here's a couple of suggestions. Option 1, we have Beast Mastery spec. This is great for staying in the back and letting your pet pump a lot of damage. For PvP, we'll grab 1 point into Bestial Swiftness here. This is great for open world or midfield during Warsong Gulch. And because of some pet multipliers for pet scaling, we'll also go ahead and finish 5 out of 5 into Unleashed Fury for more damage for our pet. Now, most players ignore your pet, and this could be a very high damage output in PvP scenarios. Option 2, we have Marksman spec. This is also great for pumping damage midfield and providing a lot of burst on enemies. This build scales better with your gear and slower attack speed ranged weapons, but this is also mana intensive. Option 3 for survival spec. This is my personal favorite. It provides higher crit chance on your raptor strikes if someone gets into your dead zone, some CC abilities with improved wing clip, and more survivability with deflection, deterrence, and sure-footed. When it comes to improved wing clip or entrapment, at this level we're picking improved wing clip since entrapment we only have immolation trap available for the proc, and it only procs on the first tick of immolation, unlike with frost trap where it can proc multiple times throughout the duration. Now, again, play what you want here. Don't confine yourself into any of these boxed trees that I've picked. However, these are just suggestions you can use and build off your own playstyle. Next, we'll cover runes. This will have the same theme as talents, where you can't go wrong here. Everything will fluctuate based on your gear, playstyle, and what you're doing. On chest rune, we will pick up either Heart of the Lion or Master Marksman. In general, for PvP, I pick up Heart of the Lion since I want to have as much stats as possible, and I don't want to rely on another hunter or pally to provide lion or kings. For legs, Kill Command no longer works on magic pet abilities and is somewhat soft in Beast Mastery on Bite and Claw. For sniper training, unfortunately, we are typically moving around a lot in PvP, so I'm almost always going to go with Flanking Strike here to punish people coming into my dead zone. Flanking Strike is really strong with a good two-hander in PvP and can deal a lot of simultaneous damage. I'll go over it more in detail in the macro section. However, you can do Flanking Strike, then immediately Flapter Strike for a ton of damage using the correct macros. I'm pretty geared, but it's not uncommon. I'll just straight up beat a rogue or warrior in melee just with me and my pet using this ability. Hands rune is much more of a toss-up. You have curve. It isn't horrid if you're facing 3 or more melee that are grouped up, but let's be real, that typically meant you made a bad positional error and you're probably dead anyway. Because of this, I'm typically going to use Beast Mastery rune if I'm Beast Mastery spec'd or wanting to give my pet abilities a boost like with the Wind Serpent. Chimera Shot is great for raw damage and attempting to disarm melee. Explosive Shot also isn't bad for shooting into large groups of players, especially in the Ashenvale PvP event. All of these runes are typically viable. I'm most commonly using Chimera Shot just for the damage, or the Beast Mastery rune as well, but you can really do whatever you want with the hand slot. Also, with runes, again, pick what you want. There's a lot of niche scenarios where any of these and some of the ones I didn't mention could be viable. Lastly, for our builds, let's touch base on our pets. First, we have the Wind Serpent or Wyvern. In Season of Discovery, Wyverns are the same as Wind Serpent, so this is a great pet for initial burst damage in PvP. I like this pet for 1v1s or for burst damage on a flag carrier in Warsong Gulch. This pet you would want to spec into Beast Mastery Tree in order to amplify its main ability, which is Lightning Breath rank 3. We can get Lightning Breath rank 3 by taming a Cloud Serpent in Thousand Needles or Wsg Pawnee in the Barrens. For movement speed in CC, we have the Boar. This is going to do the least amount of damage. However, in a skilled hunter's hands, you can use this to get people out of your dead zone or engage quickly with charge ability. This could pair great with a marksman spec to help keep someone in your aim shot range on an opener. Lastly, on pets, my favorite is cats. This is the most versatile pet and can be used with any spec. It does the most sustainable damage, and I'd recommend a 1.2 attack speed to cause more interrupts on casters and healers in the backfield. This is much more important than doing a little bit more damage with flanking strike. For 1.2 attack speed cats, we have the level 7 Raluk, where you get flanking strike from in the beginning zone, the Rake, a level 10 rare in Mulgore, or Starving Mountain Lion, a level 23 to 24 lion found in Hillsbrad foothills. First thing you want to do as a hunter in Warsong is make sure you have a couple very useful macros and settings. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure you go into your settings under options, keybinds, targeting, interact with mouse over, and add either mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down or both. This will allow you to return or pick up a flag by spamming your mouse scroll wheel when it drops, allowing you to return or pick up as quickly as possible. Next, we'll want to set up a cheetah macro and eagle eye macro. The eagle eye macro can be used to spam eagle eye over and over again, allowing you to explore the whole map quickly instead of using it, then cancel casting to reapply. Cheetah macro will allow you to cast cheetah, then instantly cancel cheetah if needed. Normally, you would have to wait an entire global cooldown to cancel cheetah. This would be useful while carrying the flag or to increase dead space in between you and the enemy by allowing you to cancel cheetah right away instead of waiting the global. Now, the next thing you'll want to do is set up a flanking strike and raptor strike macro. Effectively, what this does for you is it allows you to first flanking strike without using your auto attack. Then you can follow that up with an immediate raptor strike on top of that. So this is going to be the most amount of damage you can do. Now, I recommend doing the two macros separate here and just pushing them one at a time. You could macro these together. In fact, some of those are up here. I'll put them on my hunter guide. That doesn't work for me 100% of the time. In fact, it usually works like 70, 50% of the time. So I would highly recommend doing them separate. But if you'd like to and the macro works for you, that's great. Put them together. Lastly, make sure you have all the stings on a mouse over macro and pet attack on a mouse over macro, including if you're using Chimera Shot, you'll want that there as well. Now, I know at level 25, we don't have access to Viper Sting yet. However, this allows you to mouse over sting healers or DPS with what you need. You can use this mouse over Scorpion Sting on a melee and attempt to disarm them with Chimera Shot, or in later phases, apply Viper Sting to burn healers' mana. And best of all, you can sick your pet on healers or casters to cause some chaos or interrupt their casts. The reason you want all these things on a mouse over is so you don't have to stop doing damage on your target in order to apply these things to that target. Again, I touched base on this in the beginning. There's so much more I could possibly touch base and cover. However, link in the comments if you have some more useful macros, but we're covering the basics here. There will be additional resources, consumables, gear listed in the PvP tab of the Hunter Guide in the description. All right, let's talk strategy here. As a hunter, you truly are one of the most important classes in Warsong Gulch, and playing a solid strategy can certainly increase your average win rate or reduce your game times. The best thing about hunter, you can be effective on offense, midfield, and defense. I found that I gained the highest win percentage by focusing on both midfield and defense. I'd recommend, of course, to bring any consumables or equipment that give you a movement speed, movement impairing effect removal, or dead zone advantage. When it comes to consumes, however, play at your level. If you don't have a ton of gold to spend, that's great. Don't worry, have fun. For those looking to do a little bit more, again, in the description is the full hunter guide. Click the PvP tab for more information on consumes and items you can use. Let's dive into some gameplay. The way this works is you start off the game by going out the tunnel entrance. It's best if you get the boots here and position yourself midfield behind one of the rocks so you can't be seen by the enemy team. I use an add-on called BiS that tells me all the players of the enemy team. If there is a druid, I try to get a hunter's mark up on them. If there's no druid, I'll go for a rogue. The whole idea here is to protect from the entrance of the tunnel to your ramp and prevent enemy players from getting by that line. If there are players who sneak by and go up the ramp, you can use your tunnel's quick access here to fall back and protect the flag room. If there are players trying to push into your tunnel, you can make a stand with your team and either prevent or delay them from getting through the tunnel. Assuming if someone makes it through the line and we're protecting our flag room, the idea here is to delay and or kill the enemy flag carrier. If they grab the flag, you can be there to attack and continuously wing clip while telling your team where the flag carrier is. I like to go down swinging here and get slows off before I die. Typically, I'll res and meet them again before they can get past our midfield. Your main job as a hunter is simply to keep this area blocked and shut down from enemy flag carriers. By doing this, you either shut down their ability to score, or you're going to require them to put additional resources into capping the flag, giving your team an advantage. With all that being said, if no one is breaking by or if someone else is covering defense, hunters are great midfield, and your goal here is to just pick up kills and have some fun. I'd recommend focusing healers, then clothies or rogues and kitty druids. However, hitting the target that your warriors are on is also great too. Don't forget, before you engage midfield, always drop a trap. Lastly, hunters are not the worst flag carriers. Their strength is that they have a decent health, dodge, and armor pool, while also being able to toggle on cheetah for movement speed. The best time to make a transition from defense to offense is when your team is getting a flag capture. However, most of the enemy team is pushed up trying to kill your flag carrier. So when all the enemy team and your team are kind of grouped up into your base, you can actually make a transition. When you know your team's going to cap the flag, you can sneak onto offense real quick, get in position to recap the flag while everybody else is out of position. All right, that's all I had to cover. Hopefully this helps you guys in your games and winning some Warsong Gulch. As always, make sure you like and subscribe. I cannot tell you how much that helps, and I appreciate it so much. Other than that, peace.